Right, so I finished my prototype, finally. In my last video, we went over how I procrastinated on making this feature by doing procedural generation. On the topic of procrastination, I spent an hour on Audacity just before recording this, just messing with OpenVino AI, and well, it made this. Anyways, the main feature of this prototype was actually very boring to make. The things I wanted to do in this last part were make the player have money, actually build stuff, make money back, and all the other building shenanigans like destroying stuff and that. So, first things first, making a building system actually requires the player to be able to interact with their environment. Luckily, this was very easy to implement alongside some basic building, which of course meant that the natural next step was to implement rotations. And well, that went alright. I had a minor issue here and there that I had to resolve, which was how alternative tiles worked in Godot. But hey, it all went alright in the end. Next thing I had to do was actually link up buildings, because buildings should be linked by where they're facing, which is why I quickly set this up using the rotation system I just made up. This code I had is absolutely horrid for this, by the way. After implementing that, I worked on getting the other buildings up and implementing the building preview, which is cool, although I forgot to clear the preview when you went out of the building menu, but that's a non-issue. So, now we have droppers, conveyors, and sellers. I was supposed to implement upgraders as well, but I didn't. I also added in some UI to see some stuff, I guess. Anyways, after implementing the switching, I then actually added in functionality, which is what gets us here. Now, mostly the feature works, but it turns out that because of how I implemented building linking, it requires you to have an insane specific knowledge of how to place things and the order you need to place them and how to rotate it. This would have been solved if I did something like making buildings actually output items, but what can I say, lesson learned? Luckily for me, I've always held on to the fact that this was a prototype at best, so I'm stopping this here, a buggy mess. Initially, the project seemed cool on the surface, but it was just boring at the end. Anyways, I want to actually work on something 3D now, because that seems interesting. Stay tuned. If you watched all that and enjoyed the video, then don't forget to like and subscribe. See ya.